And here they are. It seems as if Niklas won the die roll and is going to go first with Mathmech. Again, it makes it a little different. I'm already seeing one of the trap cards, which the deck is maining so many.
Yeah.
One of which is this summon limit, which is just in the end waiting for it to be used.
But we've seen in action the previous mentioned Mathmech Circular, which is now be sending the...
Such a strong card.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a very powerful card that sends the Sigma, and now with the Diameter as well, I think it will bring up a very good field, especially because Lewis is playing, I would say, a pretty standard lineup for entraps, like he plays Ash Blossom and Impermanence. And if this will not be the case, that he has any copies in his hand, Niklas will be able to look up for his
Super
combo.
Factorial, of course. This is the key card of the deck, the card which makes, honestly, this deck a deck, and or at least that good of a deck. But again, this is kind of a weird one, because you really don't expect Subterror.
Yeah.
So your opening is going to be quite different if you knew it. And of course here we see arguably one of the best cards in the deck, which is of course the Albertian. Almost Albertian. But yeah.
Yeah, because this deck I think is very powerful against the current meta, like tournaments and sprites.
Yeah,
but
it's a cool rogue option,
yeah,
I'd say.
And playing a rogue mirror match, it will be I'm very interested to seeing
I was about to say, exactly. Yeah. So here we see already the impact of not knowing what your opponent is playing. A blind Abyss Dweller, which is usually really strong this event, but against Subterror, that's not gonna be useful at all. Yeah. So you can see how much of a difference it makes to just know what your opponent is on.
Yeah, because basically Abyss Dweller is a game changer for basically like most of every other matchups. In this particular case, that is not true. Still, Niklas is continuing, and
essentially, yeah, the plan will be the one we have seen often, to just end into the Factorial to get the Delaplation, which is such a powerhouse, basically dealing with so much advantage and even a negation on top.
Yeah, just the Diameter itself gets you really far ahead into the combo, and then if you also see the Diameter, like, this is getting really out of control.
Can we check maybe the trap lineup for Luis? I'm thinking if he has some of these Torrential, Ice Dragon Prison we have seen, or maybe, you know, what can he really do when he goes second?
By going second, I'm seeing, yeah, I mean, he plays... yeah, I mean, he has the Gozen match, or like three. No, it doesn't have any copy of a like very small line.
That's the thing. Like the really interesting thing about Louis' deck is he's maining set rotation, terraforming, but he's not playing Mystic Mine.
Yeah.
Instead, he's playing Necro Valley. So that's a very interesting choice. But going second, I think you would really regret it.
Yeah.
So.
And 6th card is, unfortunately, Ash Blossom.
Yeah, but he has the Cosmic Cyclone, which is pretty sick here. He gets pretty much to force out the Factorial, but still really, really strong.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he had to activate it, so at least he forced Niklas, you know, to activate the Super Factorial. And then we get to see the Laplation.
But it's actually really strong.
Yeah,
though.
it's strong, yeah.
Of course, as you can see here, we get to see the Laplation. But by doing it this way, you basically save yourself at least one. So the Cosmic was pretty good here. And let's see if Luis just has enough to keep him guessing. Let's see, first of all, this is super important. He has some key cards, and he gets the... Let's see. Ooh, the Guru. Not what he wanted to see, but and now he also reveals to his opponent what he is on, which is crucial if we get to the game 2 now.
Okay, he has the Extravagance, which is good.
Good for sure. Now he gets to force out the negation, I would say. I mean, you do it for sure. Let's see. He's thinking about it, and yeah. Not a surprise. He's gonna negate it. Let's see if he has something else to push for. Yes, summon limit, I believe, but yeah.
And
he's gonna go right away for. Okay, this is actually kind of surprising.
Would you have waited? Like,
what does he have as targets? That's interesting, because you wouldn't consider Appaloosa great in this matchup.
Yeah.
So I'm actually surprised by this Appaloosa coming down. Not the obvious play against Subterror, I would say, but
no, because basically you get to see what your opponent is playing by discarding the Guru.
Yeah, but even going for like an access code later on or one of these, I think it's much better.
Yeah.
So you also have the protection from the Mascherena. While Appaloosa, sure.
I'm not a big fan of it now. Yeah.
No, absolutely. And now we could see a big punish if he picks up the Red Ice Fusion. Let's see. He's gonna set a monster again. Not the most impressive of openings, but I think this game would already be over if you went for a different line.
Definitely.
With like an access code.
Yeah, he would have gone for access code.
But let's see now. He goes and push for yet again another Mathmech.
Yeah, he goes for the one copy of Nabla.
Here it is. It's the tuner one. Is he gonna use any of his effects right away? He's definitely thinking about it. Yeah, it's probably attributing itself to summon a Mathmech from the deck. He does. Yep.
And we will also be seeing the summon leaning being flipped face up from Luis, I would say.
Yeah, this is already the second summon, and we get to see summon limit. Yeah, so summon limit is flipped. Gonna try and stay in this again. The Appaloosa kind of giving him a chance at this point, but it's still gonna be quite tough. He moves on, destroys a Nash Blossom, and the pressure is on Luis. Can he pick up maybe this Red Ice Fusion?
Yeah, that will be huge. That will change the game. Looks like he didn't.
He doesn't. He really needs to pick up some of these really good cards. And Niklas goes for the Linguribo. Makes sense. Just want to try and push as much damage as possible without fearing any other trap. And yeah, just pushes some damage. Do you think it's worth it to do it in this order? Because like...
Yeah, he attacked first with Appaloosa,
I mean,
right?
I guess he's playing around mirror first. But yeah. And now, sets one. Can he pick up anything? He's really looking to do it. No. Just another set card, pass back, and yeah, Niklas just unfortunately seems like he will be able to get this game with this Appaloosa. He attacks Impermanence is actually a pretty good one. You're forced to negate it. He does. Does he have a second copy of the card? No, he doesn't. So he picks up his cards, and it is Niklas who wins this game one, not really giving his opponent a chance, sniping the Guru. But again, maybe Luis was quite an unfortunate end. He couldn't really get things going. At the end of the day, the die roll did it.
It was super important. Like, I mean, playing Subterror, it means a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it's also relevant to say that playing against, let's say, a Rogue Mirror match forces you to win the die roll even more.
Absolutely, and in this case, we could just tell if you went first, he would have had Guru and Summon Limit alone, which Summon Limit just completely wrecks pretty much any deck of the format, to be fair. But yeah, Mathmech on top of them all. But sometimes that's how it goes, and now he will go first. And he actually has a lot of good cards for going first, even in the side deck. do you want to go through some of these options?
Yeah, as you previously mentioned, he's playing set rotation in the main deck
Yep.
with Necrovalli, but he's siding in Mystic Minds. So he has, you know, other different options. He has third copy of Solemn Judgment, which will go in for sure. And then he has other cards which I think are very good against the most important deck of the format. Soul Drain, there can only be one. Third copy of Gods and Match.
There can only be one definitely coming in. It shuts down so much from his opponent deck, which on his other hand now knows he's up against Subterror and will be able to actually side a lot of 8.
Yeah, I mean, he has Lightning Storm, which we have seen basically every single player is sided. And then the evenly matched as well.
Yes, so much. Yes, literally 9 side deck cards. He has 3 evenly matched, 3 Lightning Storm, 2 Cosmic, and Pancratops, which are all amazing. What a side deck,
I mean,
honestly.
It's solid.
Yeah. This is so much more than I was expecting. So honestly, I gotta give the advantage to Niklas. Like, this side deck is unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, it's perfect. Like, if it
even
was Niklas, I want to play against his decks. Like,
did you see one of the cards? I mean, we probably will not see it in this game, but there is one which is just with the movement. Mystic Walk in the side deck for Niklas. Let's see if we will bring it to the kitchen in this match, but our players are ready. So let's jump to the table for game 2 and find out the winner of round 7. Here they are, and of course, Luis this time will try to find Eden City, Red Eyes Fusion, all these power spells, Extravagance, of course. Let's see. He does pick up Set Rotation, which is at least guaranteed Eden City. And I think he does have the Summon Limit once again.
Yeah,
so Set Rotation is great because it prevents evenly matched. So you can't really complain about that one.
Yeah. Especially because, like, in this format, we have already said that most of the players are relying on evenly matched.
Yeah.
Some of them in the main deck, some of them...
Ooh, but I think I saw a Storm.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and differently from evenly matched, Set Rotation does not prevent it, because it's still face down. Yeah, we're gonna see here pretty much...
Impermanence?
Ooh, okay, this is a great Impermanence.
Oh, but he cannot activate it because he has the...
Yeah, good catch here. Luckily, we didn't have to catch it. And here you can see just how good of a card Set Rotation is. Not only evenly match is shut down, but Impermanence is shut down as well. And this makes a ton of a difference because Lightning Storm is in the end, but now he can negate it.
Yeah. This is what, like, I mean, the Fiendness itself is very powerful, and then we will
but now you just use it right away to negate it. Is there something more that he can do right away?
Cold by the Grave.
Woo!
Wow.
Let's see it. And he does.
He changed the final battle. I mean, why not?
He does. So final battle is chained. And there is a round of applause from the crowd.
He also has the Circular, which is good. We have seen...
yeah, right away you being used.
I think he decided to go with Lightning Storm on...
No, because he used the last effect, which is essentially a protocol. So he prevents the Cold by the Grave from negating, and it's a great start. But still, he will try his best. But unfortunately, I am not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure the last set is a Summon Limit, which would pretty much shut down his opponent now. So this could be a quick one.
Yeah.
Let's see if this is the case, but I want to bet it could be. Let's see, does he have the Summon Limit here? I am thinking... I think I saw it.
Yeah.
It is. So Summon Limit face down by Luis. Wow. This is turning quite quickly as a tough spot for the Mathmech player.
Yeah, this hurts a lot. It basically stops Niklas' strategy, who is now forced into searching the Mathmech induction.
Yep. Again, usually you get to see the super factorial quite more often, but induction and other options. And in this matchup, even the 500 attack boost is not nothing to be laughed at. But essentially, you can just send it from the field to the graveyard and destroy, most likely, summon limit, I would say. Now he reads the Eden City. I think great idea, because the Eden effect, we could say, it's actually super relevant. As you can see here, I'm gonna bring it up for you. You cannot declare an attack. Yeah. Otherwise, you would give so much advantage to the opponent. And just like in game one, it was Niklas who had the upper hand. It is now Luis who gets another turn, and he can get to combo through.
And it is very good, especially because like Luis has the Guru along with the final battle, so he can continue doing that. And it's getting very difficult for Niklas, because that summon limit hurt a lot.
I mean, now he has a way to deal with the summon limit, but does he have enough resources to still stay in this game? That's the question. But yeah, I think the card who is winning it right now is definitely the set rotation. It did so much for his opponent. And now, yeah, we just see a battle phase with induction. Interesting. Do you think he's using it right away on there?
Okay, but he changed the final battle. Yeah.
Does it once again? We're not quite sure which effects are being used, of course, because there are multiples. But I think he's probably doubling the attack. Yeah. Because in damage step, essentially, try to use the induction to get the 500 attack boost, but then his opponent just answered with his final battle to boost his attack, so it doesn't really matter. Now the induction can be used to instead pop the summon limit if he wants, but he still has a lot of advantage.
Yeah. There's not much at the moment that Niklas can do.
And he does go for the induction, using its effects. He's thinking about which to use, but yeah, again, the Fiend is such a strong card.
I'm surprised that he's only playing True Gurus and True Fiendness without any other Subterror
definitely
monster
a
at all.
small engine.
Yeah. And now plays back to Niklas, which really needs to find a way to deal with summon limit.
He's getting one back, but then the summon limit is still there. And he's gotta find a way to deal with what's going on at the moment, but still in not that bad of a position. Ash Blossom comes down. He's negating it. You know, it's actually not that bad of a spot.
Yeah, it might be worse for him, for sure. It's still very hard, because again, there's the hidden city on the field, and then he has the Guru along with the final battle.
And yeah, for now, he just decided to get the equation, which at the moment is not relevant, as summon limit is already on play. So 2 summons have already been undergone.
Yeah.
It turned into a grind game, I would say.
And he drew into another Lightning Storm, if I'm not mistaken. But
could be.
Can't really quite tell.
Yeah. He has another Lightning Storm in hand. At the moment, cannot be used. So play is back to Luis, who in the end phase is considering final battle just to get a +1. But if you tell me that the engine is this small, there is not even much.
Very small package. Yeah, I mean, maybe it would have been good to play at least another name, just in case, you know, to have it.
Interesting. So he's out of Subterror cards already, and he top decks the Extravagance, so that's pretty good. Yeah, he doesn't play anything else, right?
Yeah.
Just one final battle, Shu Fiendus,
Guru.
Shu Guru.
That's it.
Wow. That's definitely not something we have seen, but he's being quite successful with it.
Yeah, because it's not easy to deal with, you know, like summon limits and gods and matches.
Yeah. Now it just goes and activate once again the final battle. MVP by far of this game. What a card, so many different effects. And now, yeah, we're back to the plan, but the Lightning Storm is now active and he doesn't have Fiendus anymore. And here it is, so second Lightning Storm coming down. Is there a solution?
Wow.
There is. Solemn Judgment back. Wow.
Good.
Yeah, good sequences here, but definitely one of the slower games, if not the slowest we have seen today on stream, but still another way to play the game.
Let's see if Niklas tries to find a way.
Yeah, here is what we already knew. So equation coming down, bringing back something, boosting the attack by 1,000. That's it. Still gotta find a way to deal with what's happening at the moment.
Yeah, the real problem is that the summon limit. And,
Yeah, again, now he's cut off. He will just try and keep this advantage while looking for some of his other cards. And this is the last, I believe,
yeah,
cards we have seen. The Factorial, right?
yeah.
Yep. Which is actually completely useless.
Yeah, at the moment it's not relevant at all.
Yeah. Let's see. Wow, he declares an attack. Okay. Interesting. Does he have anything here? Wow.
What was the plan?
He's probably just trying to put enough in grave where he can use the Factorial. So yeah, he had to crash, essentially force out and put a third name in grave, because summon limit allows you to summon multiple monsters if at the same time. Because it got errated in a way where, not really errated, but essentially the effect got clarified into players cannot summon more than twice per turn, but not 2 monsters per turn, so you could still use it. And another extravagance off the top. Wow.
Looking good for Luis.
Yeah, definitely good draws here from Luis. If he doesn't win this game, I mean, you gotta be skeptic about his deck. There's not much more than you can ask him. And it would come down to what you said about him playing just 5 Subterror cards.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Subterrors, but like on the long run, I think having another name would be relevant, so that you keep doing your stuff and still having the opportunity to search more names. Still, it's working out well for Luis, which now really needs to find a way to deal with the Super Factorial, because I think Niklas has 3 names.
Yeah, the Factorial can be quite annoying. As we know, I mean, he hasn't still picked up some of these Red Eyes fusions, really, which has been quite of a struggle at the moment. But gonna try and keep up this pace. We are pretty much at half of the round. There are 21 minutes left, and these duelists just trying their best to stay in this with a 6-1 record, which would be actually great walking into the last 2 rounds. And here we see the Factorial coming down. As mentioned, summon limit only preventing 2 summons not 2 monsters from being summoned. And let's see. He's just trying his best to stay in this and grind, and I think he's doing quite well. Just needs that extra pressure. And we see again an Ash Blossom, not that it matters much, he can just negate it, so it's essentially a -1 for Luis at this point.
Yeah, Niklas is trying to keep in the game as long as he can, especially because if Luis doesn't find a way to get the Red Ice Fusion, it's going to be, attack.
Again, final battle. We have seen this plenty and plenty of times during this game. Final battle just allowing him to keep this pressure with the Guru. And now he's gonna use it to just put it face down end this turn. And let's see, can Niklas pick up another Lightning Storm maybe? That would be huge. And that would actually mean that the Guru was a huge mistake, you know? Does he pick up anything? I think he's just going for a normal summon at this point. Yeah, Niklas is smiling a little bit. It doesn't seem like he's too happy with what's going on. He's just counting the summons, because this would count as a summon, by the way, which is interesting. And he goes for
the diameter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he cannot.
He cannot, yeah. Unfortunately, he forgot that flipping it face up counts as a summon. So he's already under the summon limit restriction when he tried to use the diameter. But that already counts as a summon. So this time he's forced once again to just move. And he has seen enough. After a long fought, grinded game, 1-1. We're going to game 3. What a match it is being. Game 1, honestly, quite quick. There was never a point in which either of the two could grind it out. Niklas just had the dominance right away with the Factorial. To be fair, sniping the Guru. That was a big part of it. But outside of that, game 1, smooth.
Yeah.
Game 2, I think we might have seen the strengths and weaknesses of his opponent decks. Because on the one hand, it seems quite consistent, a lot of good traps, but he's only playing 5 Subterror cards. So after a while, it seems as if he ran out of gas, and it just didn't have that much going on.
Yeah, I think Luis' decks is good to play against Sprite Elements and this kind of decks, because on the long run, in a grind game like the one we have seen, like, thanks to the, I mean, it was not that much going on from Niklas' side, but so he was able with the final battle to keep doing it again and again, but it was not. I was not super fond of only the 3 names being played by him of Subterrors.
The problem is that after a while you get more advantage, but essentially his deck is Guru, Final Battle, that's it. Like Guru, Final Battle, Control with no more advantage. And I think even in this game he was risking just losing out to sheer grinding and advantage. So I'm getting worried, but at the same time now things get a little more interesting because Niklas goes first. His side deck was better for going first. And while he goes first, he doesn't have that much going on. We won't be able to see the walk, I think. But outside of that, he's just going to try and do the same as game 1. Go for the Factorial, get rid of some cards, and keep the advantage up. On the other hand, his opponent has evenly matched Cosmic Cyclone. So these kind of cards which can stop his just the Factorial even from being that relevant.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult because we haven't seen in these 2 games the Red Ice Fusion and the Red Ice Dark Dragoon. It's a big deal.
That's true, to be fair. Like if alongside the Guru battle combo there was a Dragoon, that just changes the entire game. But he hasn't yet drawn into a copy of Red Ice Fusion, which makes the deck significantly slower. So at this point in time, he will just try to keep it up. And he also has another card, which you can talk about. We have not really seen much of yet.
We haven't seen Ultimate Slayer at all. Going second, I think, is very powerful card, especially because like your opponent cannot activate the monster effects in response to it.
Yeah, it's probably so for like in other matchups it shines more, but we could also see it if he feels like he's not comfortable with what he has. Regardless, our players are finally ready, so one of them is gonna advance with a 6-1 record. There is only one game remaining, so let's find out who the winner of round 7 will be. Here they are, and again, we're gonna see Niklas going first with about 15 minutes remaining in the round. Can he pull off once again the factorial combo? And is that gonna be enough to win him the game? Okay, he opens once again with the one and only, but let's see. Definitely the best card in the deck. I mean, when you open it, you can do so much.
Yeah, I mean, alone it's super powerful. It gets you the super factorial, then you can go into the Allen version as well. Of course, like drawing it along with the diameter is crazy, but I mean,
this is pretty much what we have seen in game 1. So it's gonna be already on Luis to prove that he can fight back, because this is gonna be just the same as we saw in game 1. At the same time, as the tournament progresses, we will be able to talk more about the deck breakdown, the top tables, of course, but just as I mentioned, if you have any questions coming in for tomorrow, or even just some requests or ideas on what deck you would like to see, you can just try and comment it in the chat, and we'll try to give it a shot if there is any successful player out there. And there are a lot at the top tables. It's quite diverse.
Known names. And here we are seeing the basic combos of Mathmech with the Disciple plus the Devotee, which brings the token on the field, and then here we are seeing the Wicked.
Yep. Same combos at the Attegnister deck. We have not yet seen it, but for now, not gonna be much of a surprise. We have seen the exact same combo, but I would be surprised if he goes once again for the Appaloosa.
Yeah,
what do you say?
Yeah, I will not go for it, honestly. After what I saw and how the deck works, I will not commit to Appaloosa, honestly.
Yeah, here he goes. Now he knows what he's up against, and that's why it makes a lot of sense to open up with Linguribo, even the small word. Interesting. Committing maybe to an Ash Blossom if he can.
Yeah.
That could be cool if he can get to it. Let's see if these bridges that we talked about can actually get him somehow close to that, and I think that's what he's trying to go for. Yes, makes a lot of sense, trying to just go for it. He gets an Effect Veiler, which can be helpful. And decent setup. Can Luis pick up any of these side deck cards? Evenly matched, by the way, gets a lot worse because Linguribo can negate it. So
yeah,
really solid start by Niklas.
Very good start from him.
I think he might have the fusion this time.
He has the Extravagance.
Okay, Extravagance is a great start. So this game's still far from being closed. It will be, I think, still back and forth, and as long as he doesn't banish all the copies of Dragoon. Okay, he will chain the Masquerena right away, and once again goes for the Appaloosa It seems like he's a big fan of this card in this matchup. Maybe he has seen it all, and he knows something we are not quite sure about.
And
he does have the
comes.
fusion. Wow.
He does have it.
Did he check the banish cards?
I don't know.
I haven't noticed, to be fair, but I think he did.
Yeah.
Like, that would be a shame if he didn't.
I mean, he's playing three Red Ice Dark Dragoon.
That's almost impossible.
Yeah.
But you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
Good friend of ours playing ABC one time, you know.
Lose up. Shout out. Oh yeah. Oh, I got worried for a moment because almost the end of the extra deck. But yeah, Dragoon eats the field, and that is really, really strong because now he can use the effect twice. Of course, he cannot destroy the Appaloosa because the Mascherena will protect it. But this is a huge start.
This changes.
And again, the set rotation, all of the good spells.
This is what Luis was looking for, especially because Niklas started things off pretty well.
Yeah.
The Red Ice Fusion, we talked about that. He didn't draw it in both Game 1 and Game 2. And the Dark Dragoon makes the difference.
For now, he's left just doing what he has. I was just thinking, what if he would have chained the Factorial to the Fusion? Because then you get to the Laplacian, and technically that was going to be chain link 1, and if he goes for the Dragoon, you have Appaloosa to negate it. I think that could have been a good consideration, but he's doing it now, so it's still possible, but now you can negate it, and then it gets negated. So it's not too much of a difference, but it gives your opponent a little bit of option. Let's see. He chains Call by the Grave. Wow. Wow.
What a hand. What a hand from Luis.
A hand. Wow. This is just the perfect end. You can see him just shaking his head, and what can you do?
I mean,
sometimes it's just your day, and this end from Luis is incredible. Yeah, you can see him shaking his head quite a bit. By the way, there are 7 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. We have to keep that in mind, but this is so strong. You basically get rid of the whole board now.
I mean, he got to see the Red Ice Fusion, set rotation, Called by the Grave.
An extravagance.
Incredible hand.
Yeah,
incredible
like
hand.
All of the power spells drawn by him, and of course, Dragoon. We do not forget how good of a card that is.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a ridiculous card.
Yeah,
right?
It has been smashing like the fields. I don't know how many times we have seen it in action.
Especially at the remote duel, so it's quite cool to see it in action live here at YCS Utrecht. So, wow, what a turn of events. And now we'll see if he picked up the Necro Valley as well. He gave it to his opponent. That could have been an interesting choice.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, I saw that Luis has a copy of Fitness in his hand, and also has the Final Battle.
Yeah, but the cool thing is the Red Ice Fusion has the restriction. You cannot normal or special, but you can still set.
Yeah.
And that's as good as it gets for Subterrors. So, what a turn by Luis. Probably one of the best turn ones we have seen today. His opponent picks up his cards and now has a huge challenge to actually come up with. It's tough.
Yeah, very tough with the Dragoon on the field. And also
Where
there's
do you
the
even start
Fitness.
from?
Yeah, I mean, okay.
Okay, Lightning Storm is a decent way to start things off. At least it forces out either the Fiendus or the Dragoon. He's considering which, and he actually goes for spell and traps because the Dragoon is protected. So he's just gonna chain it and be sure that his effects cannot be negated. And now it's tough because what can you even go for? I think the goal is to go for Zeus maybe, if you can.
Yeah, but here I think we're going to see the Fiendness being activated by Luis.
Yeah, Diameter is the one you will try to use. Let's see. I think you have to, right? Because the Zeus is the one.
Yes.
Oh, what?
What?
He used it for the
okay,
Dragoon,
yeah,
of course.
yeah.
He's not using the Shifter. He uses the Dragoon, discarding the Shifter for the Dragoon. And this is tough. Now we get to see, once again, Niklas trying his best to stay in this game. And he does have, of course, we know it, he had it last round. And now we can go and actually try to clear the board.
Yeah.
So this will still be a close one.
I mean, it's not easy, of course, to get rid of the Dragoon.
Sure,
let's see if...
I mean, it still has
okay.
quite a few options. It goes right away for one of the riskier play.
Yeah, it goes with the Splash Mage.
Do you like the Splash Mage in this position? Actually, it's quite risky, isn't it? Like, isn't it just better to go for downward afterwards? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have been safer. But, like, here Luis really needs to think on where to activate the Fiendness.
Yeah.
And I think he's just waiting for it.
Or maybe he didn't use it. Is it possible that he didn't get it? And instead
I'm pretty sure I saw it.
For a different line? Okay,
yeah,
he does have it. So Fiendness comes down. And you can see it here being used, avoiding. Ooh! That's a big surprise, though. Interesting.
He has the addition.
Yeah, this changes a lot, because now we get to see the Access Code Talker. What a turn of events. Actually, Niklas finding the way to out this... Yeah, plenty of targets. He's gonna just attack over the Dragoon. And I think he deserves a round of applause from our crowd, if possible.
I mean,
great stuff.
I was not expecting it to come, honestly.
Great turn by both players, just giving their best to fight back, but in the end it seems as if Niklas found the solution to this very tough puzzle. Maybe I gotta say thanks to Luis using his Dragoon in a spot which was not entirely needed, but now we get to see the other effect. Usually we get the discard to negate, instead you can also use it to bring something back from the graveyard. And we see the effect Veiler. We knew about it. He added it from the small ward, and this makes it quite tough, I think. He passes back, and now there is only so much that Luis can do to stop Niklas from OTKing this turn. He's gonna open up with this. Just a normal summon is enough to close this one. Can Niklas do it right away? He has it. I think Luis has seen enough. He picks up his card, and it is Niklas who is the winner of round 7. What a match once again. Our duelists just trying and fighting really hard in this round 7 to advance with a 6-1 record. Great chances making it to the top 64, but really, what a battle.
What a turnaround of events. I mean, I think we would have never expected Niklas to come back like this into this game 3. Because he was able basically to show us how powerful the deck is.
Yeah.
He drew the Mathmech circular like also in game 1 and game 2, and he was able to put up a very impressive field. And then in game 3, basically Lewis started, I think, with the ideal end, like Pot of Extravagance, Red Ice Fusion, the Cold Body Grave on the Super Factorial.
Honestly, I think it's one of those ends that when you imagine what do I want to draw like in the game 3 at Worlds, it's probably worse than the end he drew, but still his opponent found a way to just capitalize what he had. Maybe, just maybe, the Dragoon and Fiendish choices were a little bit off, or rather they could have been on different targets and it could have changed the outcome of the game. But regardless, I think they both proved why they were X1 in the first place and why they knew their deck very well. As a reminder, they're always playing on stream. It's never easy. We keep on stressing this, and especially now because the field is getting thinner and thinner, and there are a huge crowd watching this live here, such as Erboygen here with us. But now, of course, we will be able to show you guys the last 2 rounds. Just as a reminder, today we witnessed 7 rounds already. We have 2 more rounds remaining for day 1, and then tomorrow we'll meet back at 9 for the last 3 rounds of Swiss, followed by top 64. I have to say this was honestly a hell of a day on our side. We were actually going and witnessing a lot of different decks. We saw some playing, of course, the most popular in the room, Sprite, Tier Elements, but we have seen all the things we didn't expect. Burning Abyss, 6 Samurai, Infinite Loop, go check that out. It's round 5, I believe.
Yeah.
So you have to watch that. I've never seen an Infinite Loop in my life, so go watch back the 6 Samurai future match. But then we can see decks just like these. We had seen at the top tables Light Swarm, Madolce, Exo Sister. Like, there are so many different decks at this moment just competing and doing well. So I'm sure we will see more and more of them. And even when it's top 64, actually, once we get to that tomorrow, it makes a huge difference compared to top 32, you know?
Yeah.
In a top 32, sometimes we had seen in the past maybe even 20 or more decks which were just a single deck. On top of my mind, I have your loved Spiral, but there are a lot of these, and I don't think we are gonna see something similar.
No, I mean, we were watching the tables before, and I think we have looked up for at least 20 different decks.
Yeah, that's why if it was top 32, maybe it could have been something along the line of 20-ish between Sprite and Tier Elements, maybe, but with top 64, I think we are in for a treat tomorrow. And it will be able to talk about what record you need for the event, because as a reminder, we almost hit 2,200 players, which means the competition is tough. The level is up here, and you need probably something along the line of you know, either, I think, 9 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses.
Yeah.
So probably that's the guaranteed score. That's not easy.
No, for sure. Like,
that's not easy.
I know it.
But
I know it.
I think just as a last thank you for you guys, you have been lovely. Thank you for supporting and watching the stream. On our side, the Italian duo, this will be the last future match we have done for the day. So we will leave you to our lovely German pair for the remaining round 8 and 9. So thank you. See you tomorrow on our side, but keep watching, because for now we will go to the winner and Ed.
A salute to you guys. You've done a wonderful job today. Thank you for your service. We'll see you guys tomorrow for more coverage. Don't go anywhere, though. We've got plenty more coming up. I am joined by the round 7 winner, Niklas. First of all, congratulations. How does it feel to be this far into Swiss on the features and winning?
It feels very good. First time I got this high in the tournament before. Really? Yeah. I'm just a local guy.
Just a local guy who's absolutely destroying Utrecht. That's very good, though. It's nice to see these kind of things. So talk to us a bit about your deck choice, because we see a few people play Mathmech, but it's sort of one of those like slightly rogue choices. What is it that you like about Mathmech?
In general, I like cyber stacks, and I played Salamangreat before and Elignista, but I think Mathmech is the best because of the super factorial, the trap, and yeah, I like OTKing with access code.
Were you expecting to go up against a deck like Subterror today?
No, not really. I thought I'm the strange deck, but he was.
Yeah, that was truly a strange choice, but it was quite interesting because that's the kind of deck that's got like a lot of floodgates and things, and we saw that with the summon limit and things. So come a little closer to me, by the way, I'm being told in my ear. So I want to know what kind of things were going through your mind, because we have a bunch of different things happening in the game. Things like the summon limit was really helping Subterror in game 1. There was imperm on your Appaloosa that you managed to deal with. So what was going through your head during game 1? Were you feeling confident, or were you sort of unnerved by the fact that Subterror was going on?
On game 1 I was confident, but in general, because Lingo Ribo, I'm very confident against trap decks, but yeah, I couldn't handle too much trap, so.
But then we go into the second game. There were a couple of moments where apparently you didn't use the Lightning Storm on the back row. Were you feeling a bit like, I probably should have dealt with the floodgate there? But I mean, it all came back in the end, I guess.
Yeah, game 2 I should scoop earlier, so I don't know. I was nervous and then couldn't manage it, so I lost it.
It's the pressure of a feature match, you know, being on stage, there's a bunch of people watching on stream. There's a lot of tension, the lights, the cameras and everything. And then, yeah, you did scoop after a very long back and forth. And then in game 3, that was when we finally saw his Red Ice fusion and things coming out. So were you nervous, or were you, managing to deal with that? Were you always aiming for access code and things to try and get round Dragoon?
Yeah, Dragoon was scary because I searched the turn before my Veiler with Small World. I could search Ash, but I decided for Veiler. I was wrong, but I knew I could kill him with access code.
Absolutely, and you certainly did, and it's now won you round 7, so I hope the rest of your tournament goes really well. Thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations again. Guys, don't go anywhere, because as the Italian duo have said, the wonderful German duo are going to be commentating 2 more rounds today of the Saturday of YCS Utrecht. Don't go anywhere, plenty more coverage coming your way.